More than 15,000 government and organization representatives from across the world are meeting Monday in Copenhagen, capital of Denmark. They are there for the UN Climate Change Conference. Our own China News correspondent is with them and shows us what objectives are trying to be met.
Sunday, the UN's top climate change official outlined actions for governments to agree upon at the 2-week-long climate change conference.
And what I want to see at this end of this conference is a list of rich country targets that are ambitious, clarity on what major developing countries will do to limit the growth of their emissions, and a list of financial pledges that will make it possible for the much broader developing nation community both to change the direction of their economic growth and adapt to the inevitable impacts of climate change.
Yvo de Boer, UNFCCC Executive Secretary, says negotiators now have the clearest signal ever from world leaders to craft solid proposals to implement rapid actions to fight climate change. Proposals aimed at replacing the Kyoto Protocol, which will expire in 2012. The international community now has to map out a plan for binding emission cuts through 2020.
I think we're going to see a new treaty under the Convention, a new legal instrument under the Convention, and I think we're going to see a set of practical decisions that mean action can start the day this conference ends.
He says never in 17 years of climate negotiations have so many different nations made so many firm pledges together. Major developing countries, including China, India and Brazil, and industrialized countries like the U.S. and Canada have already made their respective promises on carbon emissions reduction. Premier Wen Jiabao will lead the negotiations in Copenhagen for China during the conference, which takes place December 7th through the 18th.
In November, China announced it seeks to reduce the intensity of carbon dioxide emissions per unit of the GDP in 2020 by 40% to 45% compared with the level of 2005.